has long been surrounded by tension and unanswered questions. Now, after years of silence, Snoop has finally broken his silence and spoken out in court.
Because I know the truth. Ain't none of you just put me on the set, and ain't none of you gonna kick me off the set.
Spreading fast that Snoop Dogg had finally broken his silence, and what people claim he said sent shockwaves through the culture. Rumors swirled that Snoop didn't just offer an apology, he allegedly revealed details that nobody saw coming. The courtroom, according to those accounts, fell completely silent as he spoke. Instead of just reflecting on his past, Snoop reportedly addressed old connections, old tensions, and the complicated relationships that once existed behind the scenes. One name that resurfaced almost immediately in public conversations was Big U, a powerful figure whose reputation in Los Angeles has long been surrounded by mystery, respect, and fear. Online, people began connecting dots, claiming Snoop's words aligned with long-running theories about what really happened in the days leading up to Nipsey Hussle's tragic death. Nipsey Hussle wasn't just a rapper. He was a symbol of Crenshaw, a voice for the community, and a man trying to balance growth with loyalty to where he came from. When he was killed in March 2019, it wasn't just a loss. It was the start of years of unanswered questions, rumors, and internet speculation. Some believed it was street-related, others believed there were deeper forces involved, and Big U's name has often been part of those conversations online, though never officially confirmed. What made this moment feel so heavy is who Snoop is. He isn't just a celebrity, he's a cultural icon with real roots in Long Beach and the streets. So when he speaks on sensitive topics, people take notice. According to circulating reports, Snoop spoke carefully, owning his past and expressing remorse not only to the court, but to Nipsey's loved ones and supporters. Still, the way his words were interpreted shocked many. Some took it as reflection. Others took it as revelation. And in street culture, that fine line sparked a dangerous label that people began whispering online, not as a fact, but as a rumor that took on a life of its own. Now with these stories spreading, old theories have been reopened, old interviews are being replayed, and people are once again asking questions that never really went away. Whether truth, misunderstanding, or internet exaggeration, one thing is clear. The conversation around Nipsey Hussle's legacy and what happened that day is far from over.
Were you there that day?
Yes, I was. Guy rolled up, Nipsey's out hanging, signing autographs or whatever. Guy rolled up. I don't know what his intentions was. As I replay it, I just replay it over and over. I wish I could have done something different. I wish I'd have never left his side.
Unfiltered pain from someone who lived through it explains why Snoop's words carried so much weight. While Nipsey's close friend relived the tragedy over and over in his mind, Snoop's presence in that courtroom forced everyone else to confront the same haunting question. Was Big U connected to the chain of events that led to Nipsey's death? For his part, Big U has never shied away from the rumors. Instead, he's faced them head-on in multiple interviews, insisting the story has been twisted and misunderstood. In this clip, Big U directly addresses the conspiracy theories and sets the record straight.
And I had never heard that. I had never heard of the conspiracy that Big U had that something to do with it, right? But let me get to a little deeper question. The rumor has it is that Nick came up to this guy and said, "I can't hang with you, or you can't be around because he was a rat, right?" Let me ask you a question. It's kind of harsh. Was Nipsey supposed to say that? If you're not in the streets no more, is your opinion on the streets that valid? I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand it was two things. Let me ask you this, because what bothers me the most when people say he got killed by one of his own homies.
If he sounds almost frustrated that his name was even dragged into the story. But rumors have long memories, and when Snoop's testimony echoed similar doubts, it only intensified the speculation. It added fuel to a fire that had already been burning for years. And if you really think about it, Snoop has always walked a complicated line.
promoting peace, claiming his crown as a Long Beach legend, while still firing back verbally at anyone who challenged his credibility. Just listen to how he responded when people questioned whether he could even return to his own neighborhood.
All you talking that shit about Snoop can't come to the hood. He can do whatever I like when I like. Second of all, you 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? You mad at me, cuz? I won't help you no more?
Like someone unsure of their reputation. It sounds like someone fully aware of their influence and how to command a room. And yet inside that courtroom, with the stakes higher than ever, Snoop shifted his approach, offering context, connections, and clarity that some felt aligned closely with what law enforcement needed. Moves like that don't happen in a vacuum. Depending on who you ask, it changed how people viewed him in ways that can't easily be undone. But before getting lost in the fallout, it's important to focus on what often gets missed, the humanity at the center of it all. Nipsey Hussle wasn't just a rapper or a symbol of the streets. He was a father, a son, and a man driven by a vision of creating generational wealth and opportunity for his community. His close friend described how Nipsey never turned his back on his neighborhood, never abandoned his roots, even while knowing that danger was always somewhere close by.
I'm gonna miss him. The world misses him. It's great what he done for the world. I'm gonna miss his smile. I'm gonna miss him just rolling up on me. I'm gonna miss his advice. He give me books to read. There's just so many things I'm gonna miss about him.
Tragedy in all of this. Moments like these don't just create drama. They reopen wounds that never truly healed. Because if what people believe they heard was true, then the story becomes far more complicated than anyone wanted to face. And if the words were misunderstood or exaggerated, then they may have ignited a firestorm that could impact reputations for years to come. Either way, the ripple effect was undeniable. Just when it seemed the tension had reached its breaking point, another moment from the courtroom reportedly left everyone frozen in place. When Snoop Dogg stepped into that courtroom, most expected the familiar image. The smooth talker, the cultural icon, the man who's mastered the art of public perception. Many assumed this would be another carefully controlled celebrity moment. Charm, composure, and a clean exit. And at first, that's exactly how it appeared. By multiple accounts, his tone was calm, his posture was measured, and then came something few anticipated: an apology. He spoke about his past, about the influence he's had, and the way music and image can ripple through communities for generations. It sounded reflective. It sounded like closure, like a man trying to separate who he was from who he has become. But what followed wasn't closure. It was tension. According to circulating reports, after that apology, the atmosphere shifted. Names that carried weight reportedly surfaced, pulling old stories and old wounds back into the light. The room, people say, went completely still, not because of theatrics, but because of what the moment represented. To outsiders, it may have sounded like honesty. To those who understand street codes and reputation, it felt far more serious. In those worlds, credibility isn't something you can repair once it's cracked. Respect isn't performative, it's survival. And once that line is crossed, perception can become more powerful than truth. That's why the reaction wasn't